Having your finances together is the ultimate flex. And if your money keeps disappearing every month, or you keep setting financial goals and never actually reaching them, this video will change that. I've worked in accounting and finance for over 15 years, and I've been on my own journey from debt to financial independence. And this is the exact money glow up I told my younger self to follow if I wanted to make next year my richest year yet. So in this video, I'm breaking down a complete money glow up guide step by step to help you officially enter your wealth building era. Let's get into it. Step 1, audit your finances. When I first started trying to improve my finances, I had a massive reality check. I was living above my means. I was spending money I didn't have, trying to keep up with other people, and I genuinely didn't know where my money was going. I was just swiping my card without thinking about it. But here's the truth, you can't glow up without awareness. And what I've realized is most people aren't bad with money, they're just unaware. And when you're unaware, money quietly leaks out every single month. So here's what you're going to do. Pull up your bank and credit card statements for the last 3 months, 6 months if you're brave, and pay close attention to where your money is actually going. So you want to look through your numbers and ask yourself these questions. Are there subscriptions that you forgot about? If so, cancel them. Did you buy anything that you never got around to using or wearing? If so, return them. Are you overspending in areas that you didn't realize? When I did this exercise, I realized a large chunk of my money was going towards takeaways and eating out. So that showed me a key area that I could make improvements. Just doing this exercise alone will stop money from disappearing every month. And when you know where your money is going, you can finally start telling it where to go next. And this is just the warm up, because the next step is where most people start to go wrong. Step 2, build a starter emergency fund. I'll be honest, I used to think saving for emergencies was overrated until an emergency actually happened. While I was paying off my debt, my car broke down and I didn't have any money in savings, so I had to borrow money from a friend, and that put me in an even worse position than I was before. Then after that, I swung the complete other way and became obsessed with saving and ended up over-saving and feeling completely stagnant. But here's the thing, savings are one of the foundation steps in personal finance, where their job is protection, not paralysis. An emergency fund isn't there to make you rich, it's there to stop one unexpected expense from completely wiping you out. So focus on building your starter emergency fund. Start by calculating your essential living expenses. This includes things like housing, food, utilities, transport, any expenses that you need to survive each month. Then you want to keep these savings in a high interest savings account so it at least works a little harder for you. You want to make sure that this account is easy to access without any penalties or fees, and keep it separate from your main account so you don't dip into it. Eventually, you do want to build up to at least 3 months for your emergency fund, but don't oversave in the beginning. Why? Because inflation eats away at cash. You want liquidity and growth, not fear-based hoarding. You want to automate it and forget about it. You'll be surprised at how fast it adds up. Step 3, list your debts. Now this is where most people quit, but the next step is what actually changes everything. Being in debt is stressful. It literally feels like you're drowning. When I was in debt, I hated it and I wanted freedom so badly. And what made it worse is having multiple debts, being chased for payments, and trying to fix everything at once. It's overwhelming. But here's what I learned. Clarity creates momentum. And once you start building clarity, it becomes much easier to keep going. So list every single debt you have. Make a note of who you owe the debt to, the balance and when it's due, the minimum payment, and the interest rate. Then, and this part is really important, pick one debt to focus on paying down for your money glow up. Then you can choose your repayment method. You can use the snowball method, which focuses on paying off the debt with the smallest balance first. This is great for quick wins and it builds momentum. Or you can use the avalanche method, which focuses on paying off the debt with the highest interest rate first. This makes the most sense financially and it will save you the most money in the long run. Both methods work, but what doesn't work is analysis paralysis. So pick one debt, choose a repayment method, and start. That first win changes everything. And once debt stops draining you, everything else gets easier. Step 4, create a budget that fits you. When I finally created a budget, everything changed. It simplified everything. There was no more guessing, no more stress, no more wondering where did my money go. I knew my numbers and exactly what to do with my money every single month. When you strip it back, a budget is just a plan for your money. It's telling your money where to go instead of checking your account after payday and wondering where it went. And failing to plan is planning to fail. We're not doing that anymore. So start simple. If you're new to budgeting, the 50-30-20 method is a great place to start. It's essentially where you allocate 50% of your budget towards needs, 30% towards wants, and 20% towards savings and debt. It could work as it is, but I suggest adjusting it to 30% towards savings and debt and 20% towards fun. Because yes, enjoyment still matters, but your foundation comes first. I personally use the zero-based budget method because it fits my personality. I work in finance, so I'm comfortable with spreadsheets, and I like knowing exactly where everything is going. The key is this: ignore trends, ignore what everyone else is doing. Choose what you can actually stick to and what fits your personality. You also want to check in with your budget at least once a month. This will allow you to see if it's working or if you need to make adjustments. It may not be sexy, but being organized is part of the money glow up. So now that your foundation is set, next it's time to work on building wealth. Step 5, start investing. I know investing can sound scary. It scared me too. I heard all the horror stories of the stock market crashing and people losing their money, and that fear caused me to waste a lot of time and money sitting on the sidelines. So instead of rushing in, I learned, I researched, and I found a strategy that worked for me. When I finally started investing, I started with just £250 a month because that's all I could afford at the time. But here's the key thing I want you to understand. You're not trying to get rich fast here. You're trying to build wealth consistently. Time in the market matters more than how much you invest, but nothing happens until you take action. Start with global index funds. They're diversified, low cost, perfect for beginners, and a hands-off way to build wealth. Contribute whatever you can afford, even if it's just £50 a month. I started small, and over time I built a 5-figure portfolio without stressing about what was going on in the market. Right now, building the habit matters more than the amount. This is how compound interest works in your favor, where your money starts working for you and you earn while you sleep. You want to ensure you're using a tax advantage account, which is a stocks and shares ISA if you're in the UK and a Roth IRA if you're in the US. Focus on consistency, not perfection. Over time, that money will continue to compound and grow. And the next step is what ties everything together. Step 6, choose one money goal for the next quarter. Having goals for your money changes everything. It keeps you focused and motivated. When I first started, my main goal was simple: get out of debt as soon as possible, and that one goal kept me locked in. Here's the thing, focus creates discipline, and discipline paired with a plan is what actually gets results. So choose one goal to focus on for the next 90 days. It could be to pay off your debt, build your emergency fund, or start investing consistently. Then make it smart. So it should be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. So for example, instead of saying, I want to build an emergency fund, change it to, I want to build a £3,000 emergency fund in the next 12 months by saving £250 a month. Now you don't just have a goal, you have a plan. Small wins build confidence, and confidence creates momentum. This is your Money Glow Up guide step by step. And if you commit to this next year, you won't just feel better about your finances, you'll be in a completely different situation. And if you want to take the next step, watch my video on how to manage your money like the 1% next. I break it all down step by step and I go a little bit deeper. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more videos on money and building wealth. And remember, stay rich in mindset and the money will follow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.